I was driving home late one night, around 11 p.m. It had been a long day at work, and all I wanted was to get home, shower, and collapse into bed. The streets were empty, and the only light came from the occasional street lamp flickering on the side of the road. I had this unsettling feeling that I couldn't shake. You know that feeling like you're being watched? It started when I was still in the parking lot. I thought I saw a shadow move in the corner of my eye, but when I turned, there was nothing. Just my tired mind playing tricks, I told myself. So I get into my car, start the engine, and begin my drive. The feeling of unease grows stronger with every mile. I glance in the rearview mirror, expecting to see anything, but it's just the empty back seat. I laugh at myself, thinking how ridiculous I'm being, and turn up the radio to drown out my paranoia. But then, something strange happens. I reach for the volume knob, and out of the corner of my eye, I see a flash of movement in the back seat. My heart skips a beat. I tell myself it's nothing and keep driving, but I can't shake the feeling. Every few minutes I steal glances at the mirror, convinced I'm going to see someone staring back at me. By this point, I'm gripping the steering wheel so hard my knuckles are white. I decide to take a different route home, one that's a bit longer but has more traffic. Maybe having other cars around will make me feel less vulnerable. I stop at a red light, and for some reason I feel this overwhelming urge to look back. I slowly turn my head, and there, in the dim light, I swear I see a pair of eyes staring at me from the shadows. My breath catches in my throat, and I whip around, but there's nothing there. The back seat is empty. I'm freaked out now. I tell myself to calm down, that it's just my imagination. I roll down the windows to let the cool night air in, hoping it will help clear my head. But as I drive, the feeling gets worse. It's like there's a presence in the car, something watching me, waiting. Then, out of nowhere, I hear a faint whisper. I can't make out the words, but it's definitely a whisper. My skin crawls, and I can feel my pulse pounding in my ears. I turn the radio off and listen, straining to hear anything else, but all I get is silence. I'm only a few miles from home now, and all I can think about is getting there as fast as I can. I speed up, breaking every traffic law, my eyes darting between the road and the mirror. That's when I see a shape in the back seat, darker than the shadows around it. It's real. There's someone back there. Panic sets in. My hands are shaking so badly I can barely keep control of the car. I consider stopping, getting out, and running, but I'm too scared to stop. What if whoever it is gets me before I can escape? Finally, I pull into my driveway, slam the car into park, and jump out. I leave the engine running and the door open, bolting for my front door. I fumble with my keys, glancing back at the car, expecting to see someone coming after me. But there's no one, just my car, idling with the back door slightly ajar. I make it inside, lock the door, and call the police. When they arrive, they search my car and the surrounding area. This time they find something. Huddled under a blanket in the back seat is a man, disheveled and wild-eyed. He looks up at the officers with a smirk, as if he's been waiting for this moment. They pull him out of the car and cuff him. One of the officers recognizes him immediately. He's a known stalker who's been terrorizing women in the area for months. They've been looking for him, but he always managed to slip away. This time, he wasn't so lucky. As they take him away, one of the officers comes over to me. He tells me how lucky I am, that this man had been following me for weeks. They found a notebook in his belongings with detailed notes about my daily routine, places I went, people I met. It sent chills down my spine knowing how close I came to something terrible. He's in jail now, and I know he can't hurt me anymore, but I still can't drive alone at night without feeling that same dread, that same chilling sensation that someone's in the back seat, watching, waiting. And every time I do, I remind myself how real that fear was and how close I came to living my worst nightmare.